Hello guys, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to 3D model a laptop, but part 2. Now this is part 2 of the previous video I did, and this tutorial, for this tutorial, there's going to be a lot of texturing involved. This is where we left off last. We set the origin point, and then we also made the screen and stuff and the keyboard, but now we're going to texture all of that. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to want to do is basically texture our keys. Now basically this may take a bit of a while if you want to put the letters on the keys. If you don't want to put the letters on the keys, then you don't have to. Now basically I'm just gonna go grab a key image, or actually we already have our keyboard image right here. So basically we can just move this out, and if we go to shading on each one of these keys, you can link this image to it. You could hit new material, and then you basically want to hit Shift A and then search for image texture, and then open, and then the keyboard image, mine's called keyboard image. Then you connect the base color to your key, and then all you have to do is to go into UV editing, and as you can see, this looks really weird. You want to hit UV and then smart UV project and hit OK, and as you can see, everything will align in order. You just want to hit A and all that and scale it all down to where it would fit in the space bar. And I just like to hit S0 just to scale it down. You can scale it up more, which, hold on, you can scale it up much more. Oh wait, you can't once you hit 0. Okay, hold up, let's Control Z that. But basically you can scale it really small and then put it on the space bar, and you want to do this for about every key. So I'm going to speed this up because this may take a long process, and so that you guys, if you don't want to do this for each key, well then you don't have to wait so long. So speed, go. Oh, and there's one little problem with this, what I did though. Before we get into this stuff, you can see it looks very stretched out as a texture, and let's change this from linear to closest, just to make things a bit sharper. And then on top of that, we can rotate this on the x-axis, and then we can scale it down to the spacebar size about, and see what it looks like in the shading tab. And again, it doesn't look that great, so what I recommend doing is going in the UV editing and just selecting the top face, wherever that is. So just selecting like the top face and scale it to the actual spacebar's top face or whatever. So you guys can see, scale it to the X, and scale it on the Y. And realistically, you don't even have to UV unwrap the spacebar. For the spacebar, you could just texture it black, because it's blank. But I'm just showing an example for this, so I would recommend actually just going in here and just scaling it appropriately to the space bar. You just select this face and then select these, scale them on the Y, but you could also switch this. Actually, yeah, you can switch this. It's already at individual. So I'm gonna speed this up. Now guys, to make this simpler for the spacebar, I'm just going to texture it black. And as you can see, the spacebar is done, but let's actually texture the other keys now. And you can just put the base color black for these keys, for all of them, just so that you can only realistically need to put the letter from the keyboard on these keys. Alright guys, and as you can see, I finished texturing the F keys and all that, and it's not even texturing, it's just coloring them with the material. And so you guys could stop here on the keyboard if you want and work on the rest of the laptop. And to keep this video a bit shorter and not have to have as much of sped up parts, I am just going to continue, although probably off camera I'm going to do these keys on this keyboard. So, guys, now we need to actually get to the actual parts of the laptop, like the laptop base and the screen. So we're going to work on the laptop base first, and this laptop is going to be a white laptop, and so technically it's already white, but it's going to not be just white. We will call this laptop base. And then we can do some different changes in this. So you can change the base color to darker. It's gonna be like a gray, not a full white. And then you can also go down and you can see metallic, specular tint, roughness, and sheen tint, all this stuff. I'm not going to go through all of it. Mainly metallic and roughness are pretty cool though. You can shift the roughness down and that'll make it so it's more reflective, as you can see. But I'm not going to put that all the way down. I'm going to put that at like 0.15. just so it's not perfectly shiny. And then on top of that, you can do the same with your keyboard base. However, to make this much quicker, you can go to the shading tab and then click on the principled BSDF that you have on your laptop base. Right click on it and click copy, or you could hit Control C on your keyboard. And then when you go to the keyboard base, and you click on that and select it and hit new material, and then delete this principled BSDF and then hit Control V, and then connect the BSDF node to the surface, and there you go. Now it looks like the keyboard is more integrated into the computer and matches, which is excellent. And so now we mainly need to focus on the screen, and on top of that, with the keyboard base, I changed the color slightly, so maybe make it a bit darker or a bit lighter. I'm gonna go with a bit like darker. There, that looks perfect. So now we need to do screen, and this is where we basically go and hit object, snap, cursor to selected, or actually it's not gonna work. So you're actually gonna want to hit the cursor tool by hitting T on your keyboard. That'll bring up this toolbar, and if you don't have your keybinds changed, and as you can see now the 3D cursor is there. And now I want to go back to select tool and then shift A to add a plane. Then we want to rotate that plane the same amount we have our screen on our laptop. So you can press N on your keyboard to come to this properties, and then you can see the rotation of the x-axis. Just copy it and then paste it in. And to keep this rotation constant and stuff, I'm going to parent the screen to the actual screen base, and the plane is the screen. We're gonna actually put like a texture for it, and then hit Shift S on your keyboard and go cursor to world origin just to put that back. Now we can scale the screen and scale it to the dimensions you'd like. In this case, I'm just scaling it to make it look like MacBook a bit. So, hold on, I want to see something. Anyways, the screen is about centered, not exactly centered. So, to make it exactly centered, as you can see, the X location on the X-axis is a bit off in that Properties tab. You just want to click on it and hit 0 and press enter, and now it should be smack in the middle of the world and the screen base. And so the screen, you can just call this screen base instead of keyboard base. You could have already named this, I didn't yet, but now I am, so this is your time if you want to name it. And then we can name the plane screen, and you can grab an image from online and put it on the screen, and I'm going to show you how. So first, you basically will want to go online and then go to Windows Desktop, for example, and then you want to go to images, and then you can see all the desktop images. Pick the one you like. I think I'm going to pick this one. It looks like a pretty neat image. I'm going to right click, save image as, and then we can call this Windows 10 Desktop. And then now we go back to Blender, go to the shading tab, hit new on the material for the plane or screen, and then hit Shift A in the node editor and click search and hit and search image texture. And then you're going to click open, and open your Windows 10 desktop image. In my case, mine's at the bottom. Hit open and then connect it to the base color. And as you can see, we have that. Very cool. Now, if you want to UV edit this and change the proportions a bit, you can. All you have to do is go to UV editor and then hit viewport shading and make some changes. So you can hit A, and maybe you could scale it out if you want to, make so many Windows 10 desktops. I'm just going to keep it at how it was, because to me this looks very good. And there you have that. So so now what we're going to do is texture the screen base. So the base that's holding the screen. So you just hit new material, and then you don't have to name it, but you can if you want. And for my case, I'm going to go to the shading tab, delete this principal BSDF, and paste the other one, and then connect it, and now we have the same color of the laptop on the screen base, and same materials too. And then hit Control S to save your Blender file. Don't forget to save. Saving is very important. And you just want to drag the screen a bit above, a bit in front of the, tiniest bit in front of your screen base, and you can see that looks a bit bad. So you can press N to go to the properties, and on the Y-axis you can change it. So I can hit 4. That brings it back a bit too much. You just want to fine tune it to where it's perfectly nice. You can go 3.6. You can go 3.7. And then go 3.8. And then 3.85. That lines up perfectly. Without clipping through the screen. But there you go, guys. Now's your time to save your Blender file. You should have saved your Blender file while the video is happening, to make sure if your computer crashed or Blender crashed that you would get back to your file. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed that video. And it was basically to give you a simple idea to modeling certain things in Blender. And I decided a laptop because that's a very beginner-friendly thing. People may think it wasn't, or it's not, but it actually is. So that's why I did it. So guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.